Business trip? You just work it remotely and you say you have a business trip. You're just trying to dodge housework, aren't you? It's not like that. I really have work to do. Don't talk back. Just listen to your husband. A year into my marriage with my husband, he never recognizes my freelance work. Worse yet, he verbally abuses me, treating me like a mere housekeeper. I'm the one supporting the household, even paying the rent, but he uses me mercilessly without a shred of gratitude. At this point, I can't just stay quiet. I'll turn the tables and use my husband's threats of divorce papers to my advantage. With the image of his frantic scrambling in my mind, I headed for my business trip. My name is Maya, a 29-year-old employed by a publishing company. My husband's name is Bill, 5 years my senior at 34. We met 3 years ago when work took me to a different region. Bill's job was similar to mine. We both went to local places to sum up the current situation and write articles about it. We both worked in publishing, and with shared goals, we quickly clicked. We'd go on reporting trips together, and even after returning, would keep in regular contact. After 2 years of dating, he proposed. We didn't have a wedding ceremony, but we wore wedding dresses and tuxedos for photos, pledging our love in our own way. Post-marriage, we both moved into the condo where I have been living. Since there was extra space, the move went smoothly. Upon getting married, I thought about pursuing my dream of freelancing. Leaving my job would mean losing benefits, but I wanted to take the challenge on my own. About a week after the wedding, I decided to discuss this with Bill. I brought it up while we were having dinner together after work. Hey Bill, I'm thinking of quitting my current job at the publishing house. What? Why all of a sudden? Didn't you say you wanted to work harder? Yeah, I did, but I want to try freelancing. Freelancing? You're going to become an independent reporter? Yes. I want to work freely without being constrained by the company's policies. I candidly shared my genuine feelings. I thought Bill, being in the same industry, would surely understand. But then, what came out of my husband's mouth wasn't encouragement, but mockery. Pfft, independence? Really? Come on, you know that's not gonna happen. Why? How can you be so sure if I haven't even tried? You're dreaming too big. The only reason your articles are popular is that you work for a publishing company. That may be true, but what? You think you can keep that popularity if you go solo? That's not fair. Look, you're not cut out for this. We're married. Focus on housemaking, not your career. As he ate the dinner I made, he spoke those cruel words as if they were nothing. I was infuriated. Today, even his comments on the taste of the food bothered me. I tried to persuade him more than once, but he was unyielding. He even threw harsh words like, "You can't do it. It's a waste of time." Yet, I didn't plan on taking this lightly either. If I gave up on my dream now, I'd regret it for sure. So I ignored his words and decided to go for it. I submitted my resignation and ventured on a path as a freelance reporter. That night, after quitting my job without telling him, Bill erupted. "What the hell? Didn't I tell you not to quit?" "I'm sorry, but I just can't give up. What if this jeopardizes our finances? Can you take responsibility?" "Well, about that, enough. Listen, I'm only putting $1,000 a month into our expenses. If that's not enough, I'm not covering for you. Got it?" "I understand." I thought he would support my dream as partners should, but reality was much harsher. A rift formed between us, with the one person I needed support from the most rejecting me. Bill, why would he say such things? All I wanted was his support for my dream. Was it naive to expect complete understanding just because we're married? It's painful, but I can't give up my dream here. I have to succeed now more than ever because I chose to act against his will. I strengthened my resolve. His verbal attacks and pressure intensified over time. He started berating not just my work, but me as a person. When I came home even a little late, he would get furious. "What time do you think it is? It's past 7 p.m. I'm sorry, traffic was bad. Didn't I always say to be back by 5? No dinner ready when I get home. That's unacceptable. I'm sorry, I'll make it right now. I already ordered delivery. Expect a bill for that later. Staying overnight for field reporting was an absolute no-go, thanks to my husband's rules. So I had no choice but to limit my reporting to places I could visit and return from within the same day. But sometimes interviews take longer than expected or traffic just doesn't cooperate. You can't predict what will happen until you're actually on the scene. My husband insisted that I be home by 5 p.m., but that's not always doable, given how weather or unforeseen circumstances could throw a wrench in the works. That being said, confronting my husband head-on was not an option. He goes to a physical office every day and works his tail off while I have the freedom to work remotely unbound by organizational rules. I guess he couldn't stand that our working environments were so different. Understanding his feelings, I always tried not to provoke him, but I kept striving in my career as a feature writer. Initially, I submitted articles to various platforms on a freelance basis and got paid per assignment, but eventually I started getting direct commissions. I even got requests to start a blog, so in addition to feature writing, I began blogging too. My income skyrocketed as a result. Before I knew it, I was earning roughly 3 times what I made as a salaried employee. Some months, I even pulled in more than $10,000, providing more than enough for our savings. Even after achieving a stable monthly income of $10,000, I kept it a secret from my husband. I knew he'd flip if he found out I was freelancing and making more money than him. A year into our marriage, his attitude hasn't changed. If anything, it's gotten worse, and our conversations are practically non-existent. Instead, he increasingly berates me. Then, one fateful day, on a rare day off, I bought some clothes from a luxury store. When I got home, my husband glared at the shopping bags and sneered. "You can barely bring in any money and you're out shopping like it's nothing. Do you even know your place?" I earned the money myself, so why can't I spend it? Huh, really? Aren't you using the $1,000 I give you every month? That's not it. That $1,000 can even cover rent. Why would I touch that? Did you just call me low income? No, nobody's saying that. Suddenly, he hurled his beer can at me. It narrowly missed me but spilled all over my new clothes. "What are you doing?" Fuming, he shouted back. "I give you $1,000 every month, okay? You should be grateful." "Grateful? The missing rent and all the other bills are paid from my earnings. You must be dipping into your savings, right? There's no way you're making more than me. Believe what you want, but I'm not burdening you, not in the slightest. Go ahead, keep talking. Don't expect any handouts from me later on." My husband threw a can and sneered at me, not even bothering to apologize. I felt like I was reaching my breaking point with him. Several months later, I received a direct request from the publishing company I regularly contribute to, asking me to cover natural disasters overseas. It's an overseas assignment, so a day trip was out of the question. I decided to tell my husband about the work trip. "Bill, I know it's short notice, but I'll be traveling overseas for work this weekend." "Work trip? You're just a freelancer. What are you talking about? You just want to slack off on housework, don't you?" "That's not it. I really have to go. There's no way a freelancer like you has to go on an overseas work trip. How could you lie like that?" "It's not a lie. I was directly asked by the publisher." "Don't talk back. Just listen to your husband." As if I were the one being unreasonable, my husband continued to berate me. Fed up with his irrational behavior, I glared at him. Finally, he spoke, clearly irritated. "Do you even know your place? You're just a reporter in name only, practically unemployed, and yet I still stay married to you." "Stay married to me?" "Yeah. You wouldn't survive without me. If you have a problem with that, let's divorce." My husband pulled out divorce papers from his suit pocket and tossed them in front of me. That was the moment. A vein in my temple throbbed, and a rage I've never felt before consumed me. I can't take it anymore. I absolutely refuse to stay married under these conditions. From now on, I'll use him to my advantage. My husband always threatened me with divorce papers whenever he was displeased. Until now, I'd always apologized because I didn't want a divorce, but I realized that wasn't necessary anymore. I filled out the divorce papers and submitted them while he was out. I also arranged to terminate our condominium lease at the end of the month. Furthermore, I moved up my overseas work trip and headed to my destination that day. I didn't tell my husband anything and kept my messages and call notifications off. Having finished all my work, I returned home after 2 weeks abroad. The time was already past 8 p.m. and the lights were on in the house. I didn't want to see him, but I had no choice but to go home. Taking a deep breath, I opened the front door. Hearing that, a series of loud footsteps erupted from the living room. I looked up and saw Bill standing tall with his arms crossed. Just as I was about to speak, he started yelling at me. You have the nerve to come home like nothing happened. Where have you been without even replying to my messages? I told you, remember? I was on a business trip abroad. Business trip? Business trip? Seriously, as if someone like you, who occasionally works remotely to write boring articles, could ever go on a business trip. I told you, I got an assignment from the publishing company. I even got paid for it this time. Paid? What did you get, like $10? What a fool! Spending money on transportation to go abroad just to make $10. Bill kept on belittling me with his crude laughter. But what he didn't realize is that we're no longer husband and wife. He's only able to act so high and mighty because he doesn't know, and his words no longer have any effect on me. Finally, I calmly said, "Do you enjoy putting people down like that?" "What? What are you talking about? If you feel belittled, it's your fault, isn't it?" "I haven't done anything to be looked down upon by you. In fact, I make about 5 times more than you do." 5 times? As if. That would mean you're making close to $10,000 a month. Yes, that's correct. What? Faced with this unexpected truth, Bill's face twitched. He clearly couldn't stand the fact that I made more than he did. Fuming, he blurted out, "You've got to be kidding me, you're such a liar. I'm divorcing a wife who won't even do the housework." Panting heavily, Bill shoved new divorce papers in my direction. With a smile, I revealed the truth to him. Another new form for me to sign. "Yes, sign this quickly." "Don't worry, I already submitted the divorce papers 2 weeks ago." What are you talking about?" "We're not married anymore. Why are you still in this house?" Bill stammered, barely able to get words out. Finally he spoke. "What do you mean you filed for divorce? Why would you do that?" "Why? Because you handed me the papers." "But I didn't really want a divorce." "Well, too bad. I thought it was okay to part ways, so I filed." "You've got to be kidding me. I just gave you those papers to scare you into understanding your role as my wife." Bill grabbed my shoulders, his eyes filled with anger. As I suspected, he never intended to divorce me. He just wanted to intimidate me into obeying him. Knowing this, I chose to divorce him anyway. I realized I could never be happy with him. Finally understanding this, I unleashed all my pent-up feelings. "You think you can lecture me? Do you know how it feels to have your dreams mocked by the one person who should support you? Hold on, Maya, don't call me like we're friends. We're divorced. We're strangers now." "What am I supposed to do now? Can I stay here?" "This is my condo. You're essentially trespassing. I never want to see you again. Leave now." I threw Bill's belongings out. Initially he resisted, but eventually gave in, shoulders drooping. After that, Bill called his parents and apparently moved his stuff to their place. However, due to the circumstances, they refused to let him stay and told him they wouldn't help him financially. As a result, he had no choice but to live on his limited income and move to a cheap apartment far from his workplace. He can't spend money like he used to, and just getting by has become a struggle. His savings have run out, and now he's living a dull life just trying to save money. As for me, I've signed a lease on a different condo and started living alone. The move went smoothly, and now I'm enjoying my work in my new home office. Thankfully, my articles are getting featured on major online platforms. The blog I started on recommendation has also become a good source of income as the number of visitors kept increasing. I plan to continue doing what I love, writing great articles and covering stories from places that interest me. I want to keep my current job, but do it in a way that's sustainable for me.